you have one in there.
Unless there's one in this red box in here.
No, that's another. I'm on TV, you know. There's no spare battery in there. I usually carry one,
I
but
didn't see one.
Okay, well. Sorry, everybody. I'm going to start the show now. Hey, while you're up, Bob, could you give me a little more headspace on that camera right there? And where was I? Maybe just a little bit more. Maybe a little bit. That's perfect. Where were we? Oh yeah, we're gonna start the show. Anyway, so hello everybody, welcome to Tom's Guitar Show. I'm Tom. They call me Guitar Tom because I'm often seen with a guitar, and they call me on the phone and say, "Hey man, what's your show about anyway?" And I say, "Well, about an hour. About guitar players, guitar playing, all things guitaristic." So, if you want to call in and ask a question about the care and feeding of your guitar, what kind of guitar is right for you, or want to know something more about related topic like the guitarrón, the citron, the cítara, lutes, uds, vihuelas, banjos, balalaikas, bazookies, bajos, sextos.
That's okay. Right. Yeah, I don't know how to put the disclaimer on. Okay.
Oh yeah, we're getting off to a rough start, but what else is new?
Our director's here now. Things will straighten out.
Well, we hope so, yeah. It's first thing in the morning for him, you know. Now, he's not a bum or anything. He works graveyard shift, poor fella. But anyway.
It can be both.
It could be both, yeah. Anyway, so if you want to ask a question about, you know, guitars, guitar playing, and anything guitaristic, or citrons, guitarras, chitoles, banjos, balalaikas, bazookies, bajos, sextos. You want to talk about, cavaquinhos, tiples, bandolins, mandolins, bandoras, bandurias. I guess anything you pluck on. I can go on and on for a while. Maybe I should just do that and just try to think of every instrument I can think of. When you get around kazoos. Wow. Bob got a call. Pipe organs, piccolos, ocarinas, accordions, whatever. Want to talk about music? Great. Call me on the show. If you want to talk about some other related topic, that's fine. Want to talk about politics, world events, your own personality problems? Yeah, E flat A and C clarinets. Need a little more headroom in this one. I'm having I'm having a problem here. I don't know exactly what's causing it, but for some reason my my reverb pedal here, which I've been using, is making a horrible humming noise, buzzing more than anything else. And
And it's plugged into the same cord as the black box there. So.
well, there's there's two different power supplies. Now, I'm not exactly sure what's going on here. To say I'm not exactly sure, I mean, what I mean is I have no idea what's going on here, except that we're getting this horrible 60-cycle hum. Don't seem to have a battery. I suppose I could take a battery out of something else, because I do have another box, another looper in there. But the funny thing is that TC Electronics Hall of Fame reverb, which sounds great, but I got one of these before, and it malfunctioned very early on the game, and then I've had this one for a couple months, and now something's going wrong. So I don't know. I have the Holiest Grail. That's been fine, but this one is having issues. So anyway, I like a reverb. I like it. See, I usually have it on a Hall.
Ready to pull this other one out?
Well, that's the other one's another looper.
Oh. But if you're going to take the battery out of
I
it.
could take a battery out of that and put it in here. Well, why don't you get the other get the red one out, the looper? Yeah. I'm gonna try. So this show is going to be about me trying to get this thing to sound right. So let's see if I turn this down. Okay, we determined that the amp is fine. That's the reverb that's on the amp. I don't like the reverb on the amp very much. I mean, it works. It's okay, but so it's not the amp, and it's not the ditto looper on the floor. It's this thing. So I'm going to try plugging it in again. Let's see, mono. That's the right one. I plugged in the right one there. Give it a little juice. And I'm going to plug it in to this. Okay.
Oh, do you need a screwdriver to take the battery out of this?
Oh, no. Now it's going zzz. Thanks, sir, Bob. So that's no good. All right. I'll turn that off. This is a Boss RC2 looper, which works fine. It has a battery in it.
Did I ever tell you the one about Mrs. Long?
Let's see. So if I remove the battery from this and let go. Sorry. It's a very boring show.
Unless we have electronics buffs watching us.
Yeah, but what kind of electronics buff cares about some guy
Changing a battery
trying
in
to take
his.
a battery out of one thing and put it in another? Yeah. Anyway, okay. So I'm going to unplug this, and I'm going to screw this. I never had a battery in my Ditto looper before. It could simply be that the power supplies are not agreeing with each other or something. I could pay $20 for the power supply.
There's times we wish we had
I have
2 or 3 cameramen out there.
okay. I put the big one on the little one and the little one on the big one.
Got a good cameraman out there.
Oh boy.
Bob is good at everything he does.
Hear that, Bob?
Yeah, getting compliments from the booth.
Yeah, all right.
I brought him over here from SCTV.
You'll have to double my pay.
He's claiming
I'll double it and double it again there for you, Bob. And we're an egalitarian thing. I may be the host of this program, but I get the same amount of money as everybody else. So, all right. Now we're going to find out if the battery will do the job. Because I prefer the... Okay, it's on. Let's see what happens. Turn on the volume and... Kind of buzzy, isn't it?
Still got a little noise in it.
What's that fly on this? You got a fly in your right knee.
Do I?
You had one.
I'm such a sweet guy that I draw flies. It's buzzing. All right.
We can live with that.
Well. Something's wrong with my looper. I mean, not my looper, my
Your
Hall of
reverb.
Fame. It was expensive too. I'm this close to giving up. I'm because I plugged everything in the right way. Could you look at that little green bag there? Is there like a little cord in the bottom of it or something? Just one extra little cord in there?
There is nothing yet.
Okay, all right. All right. I admit defeat, although this is a nice tone. The amp can't do that on its own. All right, so we're going to turn this off. We're going to take this out of here, turn that off. Probably put the battery.
Never do that, right?
Yeah, never do that. Actually, the thing is, the amp, the volume's turned off, but it still does that, so I don't know.
It will disappear in one big bang.
All right, well, there we go. I still have some noise. Oh, well, anyway, okay, so if I want to fatten it up, I've got some, see, that's reverb.
Yeah, you have some effects in your amp, don't you?
Yeah, I've got chorus and reverb. But I never liked chorus. Yeah. And then I can push this button, and I'll have chorus and delay is like an echo. Wait a second. No, that's the wrong button. Welcome to Echo Canyon.
I was absorbed in culture watching a hillbilly music show one time.
Uh-huh.
This reminds me, that's some guy doing a ham bone rap about po' boy don't need electronics to make his rock and roll.
I see. Yeah. Well, you know, it is a wash tub and an attitude, I suppose. Fly.
Thought maybe you were going to ham bone for a minute.
It's rhythmic. You gotta swat your flies rhythmically. Have a pet fly.
2 of them.
Yeah. 2 of them? I'm rich.
Yeah.
I'm rich in flies. Some people only have 1 fly. I have 2. Oh. But anyway, this isn't working out the way I wanted to, amp-wise. You know, the thing about this amp is it doesn't, it sounds kind of like a tin can on its onboard effects to me. I mean, this sounds like a tin can. I know this nylon string guitar I brought over here is going to sound even worse to me.
Oh, the people at home are watching on TVs with speakers like that. So.
Well, a lot of them have the surround sound nowadays.
Yeah.
You know, I'm surprised.
Yes, I guess not everybody watches TV like I do.
Probably not. I don't even have a TV. I shudder to it. I shouldn't admit that, but I don't.
A big-time TV producer with no TV?
That's right. Well, I have my computer. I can watch Tom's Guitar Show on YouTube when they get around to loading it up down here. But
And what's that? allthingsguitartom.com?
Yeah, allthingsguitartom.com, and that's the place to be. I get like 30, 40 views if I'm lucky, but one of them's mine. But kind of hard to watch. Sometimes I have to watch myself. It's like. But anyway, the thing this amp does well, though, the thing is like a lot of people have a very different idea about electric guitars. For instance, this guitar is it's really kind of a hot rod guitar. I could really rock on this thing if I wanted to.
It looks like a rock and roll guitar.
Yeah, I don't really think about that though much because people say, well, because I was reading the specs on this amp. Actually, it's very amp today, because I was thinking about maybe getting the littlest one and changing my whole. See, my whole idea for the restaurant gig was to.
What restaurant gig would that be?
Oh, that's at the Tuscan Moon in Kelowna, Iowa, right down there.
Do you play there on weekends?
I'll be there Friday, Saturday. I think I'll be there all month. Actually, at Friday, Saturday, and I'm supposed to start at 6, but I'll be there by 6:30 pretty much, and supposed to quit at 9, but I'll be there maybe. I've been playing till 10 lately. Out there in the patio. This would be a wonderful weekend to go there, by the way, because when the weather's really nice out there in the patio with the little lights and the plants growing on the lattice and stuff like that. And
That's in Kelowna.
Kelowna, Iowa, yeah, right next to the bakery, right downtown.
And if people are going for supper, they should get a reservation.
Oh, you should definitely get a reservation, yeah. Unless you go really late. And the cookies are a really decent human being, Sometimes you don't want to go, like put in an order right before the kitchen's about to close.
Right.
Because there's this sort of passive-aggressive, chef thing, where they...
Yeah, you never want to make anybody mad if they're going to handle your food.
That's right. I try to, be on good terms with the wait staff and everything. But anyway... Yeah, I'll be there this weekend, with or without this red reverb here. But my ambition was to have the output go into the stereo system of the place when I'm indoors again, when the weather gets cold.
Right.
And then have through a mixer that I could put there. And then I want to figure this all out, and then have this beautiful kind of lush sound coming out of the speakers.
Oh.
And have a smaller amp next to where I am, because where I am, it might be it's kind of loud if you was a small place. And
The Tuscan Moon has a sound system you can plug into.
well, they have they play songs over their stereo.
Yeah.
But I don't plug into it. I bring my amp and I play through my amp. You see, so I'd like to pipe it in. That's what I'm saying. So, what this amp does really well though is because this isn't really. The sound I get out of that, if it weren't buzzing, aside from the buzz, it's lush and full. Like you get this, sounds like you're playing in church or something, big reverb, But what this thing does well, allow me to push a few buttons.
Like in a big room with good acoustics.
Right. That's what people do. See, other people want That's pretty bad too, isn't it? That's pretty bad too, isn't it? And that's kind of what most people want. You see, I try to avoid that. It's like,
That's probably not what people hear at the Tuscan Moon, is it?
no, I don't. I never play like that, Tuscan. Well, no, I never have actually. I've played this guitar.
Easy listening down there.
Well, see, that makes it sound better because it didn't sound that good to me before, but now all of a sudden it sounds a whole lot better. Maybe like there's a story about the woman who lives up in a house, you know, and it's noisy. She got the branches rustling against the roof, and the teapot starts hissing, and rocking chairs creaking and stuff like that. It's driving her crazy. Too much noise, so she goes down to the village to talk to the wise man, which I played with this. I was the wise guy, because he was, you know, he was always in his nose. His brain was in his nose. But we did a kids show. I used to do his kids shows all the time. Anyway. So what she does is he tells her that what she should do is to bring the cow into the house, you know, and she does, and it's even worse because the cows make a moo, you know, and shuffling around. So she says, okay, I'll bring the chickens in the house, you know, and then bring in the donkey and all this stuff. And they make all these noises, which of course I had to make all the noises too, you know, and then it just gets really bad, you know. Of course, you get all the kids to make the noises too, you know. They get to be the cat and the dog, and they're barking and meowing, and the donkey braying and everything like that. So then it gets really, really bad. So she goes down to the wise man again one more time, and he says, "Okay, now take all the animals out of the house." So she does, and all of a sudden it doesn't sound so bad with the chair creaking and the branches, you know, brushing against the ceiling, the roof, you know, and everything. So anyway. It's a kid's story.
Well, like the guy that goes to the doctor, says, "Doc, I got a splitting headache."
Yeah.
Doctor hits him on the toe with a hammer.
Yeah.
Ow! Forgot all about your headache, didn't you?
Yeah. Three Stooges had one about that, you know, because well, what it was during the war, in World War II, and they had rationing, so they had ham and eggs, and so they Larry and Mo divided up the ham and the eggs, and they gave Curly the shells and the bone. You see, and then Curly complained. He said that, and then Mo said, "Listen, I only got half a piece of ham and one egg, but you got a whole bone and 2 eggshells. So what are you complaining about?" So he bites into the ham bone, of course, and he breaks his tooth, and so the rest of it's about you're trying to get his tooth out, you know.
Yeah.
And then, like, trying to tie the doorknob, and he pulls up and sees the doorknob, says, "Wow, it's a big tooth," and stuff like that, you know. So one of the things he does is he stomps on his foot. He goes, so Curly goes, "Ow, ow, 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 ow," see, because they both hurt.
Right.
So anyway, now we've covered the Three Stooges.
Not a cure-all. Yeah. Well, no, there's a lot more to the Three Stooges, but
Oh yeah, well,
since this is a guitar show,
I wrote a paper on the Three Stooges when I was a kid in school, you know. My 6th grade papers were some of my best work. I wrote Marx Brothers, Three Stooges, and about radioactive waste, because they didn't have a way of disposing of radioactive waste.
They still don't.
permanently. Right, they still don't. So I looked it up.
every year when we go out to Nevada, the feud's still going over that.
Yeah.
You know, they've dug a big tunnel through a mountain out there where the feds want to store radioactive waste, and the people of Nevada don't want them to.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
It has a half-life of 1 million years or something like that.
Yeah. Be toxic forever.
Yeah. Well, not forever, but the human race will probably have died out by the time it...
And a couple of years ago, Miss Nevada said, well, the people of Nevada should take one for the team. And got real unpopular in the state for a while.
Yeah? Not in my backyard.
Yeah. That's how everybody feels about radioactive waste.
Yeah. Well, I don't want it here. We have a nuke plant up at not too far from here, up in
Yeah, just
Palo.
up west of Cedar Rapids.
Yeah. For a couple of years, 2 or 3 years in a row, I played the Cinco de Mayo parties with my buddy Raimundo. And because in the old days, we were Raimundo y Tomas. And I got to be the gringo. But we played together, and we did parties. And they have the Cinco de Mayo parties, and they have, like, you know, guacamole and beans and things, and lots of Dos Equis, tequila and stuff. But there was employees at the Duane Arnold, you know, nuke center there. They were like, kind of, you know, they all knew each other from work. So, you know, they'd hire us. And I didn't have a Geiger counter or anything with me. And you know, after dark, they didn't glow. So.
Oh, have you ever heard their plan for a China Syndrome meltdown? Well, the area they serve has about 300,000 people.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so a meltdown would kill off about 200,000 of them.
Oh, boy.
So if they tripled the prices to the remaining 100,000, they'd be right back where they started.
I see, yeah. That's comforting. I wonder if I'd probably be in that 200,000. You know. Well, we had a guy in our board who said, you know, he likes to protest things, and he says, "Shut it down, it's a rust bucket." He said, "Shut it down."
Then what? Yeah, then you still have all that radioactive material to do something with.
That's right. And we got to burn a whole lot of coal. To make up for the juice. Yeah. Windmills, solar collectors. Having said all that, my air conditioner is on in my music room right now just to dry it out because it's very humid right now. It's not that hot, but it's very humid. I was up early this morning. I saw the fog over everything. It was anyway.
Softening up your pegboard.
Yeah, that's probably what happened. I've had a lot of trouble lately. I'm really, I'm kind of depressed about this little red box buzzing that way, but I'm also upset about this guitar is chipped over here actually, and the other one's cracked pretty badly, and the other one's got a ding in it, new shiny new
And that
guitar.
one's only a couple weeks old.
Yeah, so I'm you know, he's kind of like Curly with this, you know, his tooth hurts, but then he stomps on his foot, so it doesn't really take my mind off the chip of the guitar, having the reverb be buzzing, but anyway. Anyway. Yeah. It's one of those things, you know, you want to leave it alone, but you just...
Yeah. It's like a scab you just can't resist picking at.
Yeah. It's like Earl Scruggs said, you pick it, it'll never heal. But, because I don't know. I try to be informative. Lots of things can go wrong when you have instruments. So, we got the tone here, we got a Hall. There's nothing I can do about this. Okay. Just out of curiosity, what if I didn't have this? And I plugged this into here, and this into here. And then I turn this up, what would happen? I just unplug myself. Hang on. Got this fly distracting me. All right. Okay. So this is here. This is a Hall reverb. And it's on with a battery. And we turn the volume up and it goes. And it's fine. Huh.
So your red box and your black box must not be getting along.
Either that or this thing is not working for me
Well,
today.
that's true too. That's another possibility.
So now I can get the tone I want, but I can't loop. But you know, I don't have to loop. I can. That sounds so much better to me. This is what they call Hall reverb here. It's not even turned up all the way, with a little delay on the amp because it's got that. Yeah. Huh. Well, what do you know? This is the cheapest, smallest component, except for the battery.
Yeah, always look for the cheapest, easiest solution first.
Yeah, and hope for the best. Yeah, huh. Of course, I don't want to make you go through that case again, but is it easy to get to, or is it hard to get to that case? Because there's probably another chord of some sort in that case you were looking at
Look
before.
and see.
I should have brought my equipment bag along with me, because I think I have some like spare cords. They're like big long ones. They're really skinny. The $3 ones you get at the guitar shop, you know. Maybe to the yeah. All right. Thanks, Bob. So we're going to try again. Now I'm going to plug this into here. And then I'm going to use this big long cord here. That's not that long, actually. To plug this. Into here. Let's see what happens. On your mark, get set. Well, it's a little buzzy.
So I guess maybe it was the connector.
It's a little bit buzzy, but it's not bad. Of course, it's a really cheap cord. Well, okay. I'm still getting some hum out of that thing. I wasn't getting the hum when I just had the pedal there.
Nothing like we were before, though.
Yeah. That's a super cheap cable. That was like an emergency, cord I put in the case because it was really thin and stuff. Well,
After the show, you'll probably have to try the house current again with that cable.
yeah. Well, I could plug this in right now. I just have to do this and see what happens. That's much worse. I don't know, man. See, I could just like revert to my old classical guitar ways, but then they have one really nice guitar, but things happen. It gets little buzzes and rattles and cracks and things like that. And then I don't know. I've had a world of trouble, all my life. Of course, I had the fingernail thing for years and years, and then I found out that you can get these gel nails down at the mall. Vietnamese people put them on for you, and at a moderate price. And now I don't have to worry about broken nails because these don't break. And I can. I remember one time a long time ago. I had a girlfriend who had a Volkswagen, a little with square backs. You don't ever see those anymore. I guess they all rotted away. But little station wagon.
I remember those.
Yeah, little boxy thing. And I had a Chevy Impala. So. And I was supposed to go out of town in my car to play a gig, that night. But I went to pick her up in her car, in the rain somewhere, I guess. And the thing was, her door was locked, and the door was locked. So I was driving her little Volkswagen, and then I went over to, unlock the door, and it was just like it was a lot closer than it was in my Chevy. You see, and I wasn't thinking about it, and I smashed my thumb against that window, and my thumbnail broke off, which because in those days I had to grow my own thumbnail, It was even before we discovered the crazy glue and baking soda mixture you could put on them to harden your nails. This is a long time ago. This is in old days, back when you used to see Volkswagen squarebacks. So I broke that nail down below, where the flesh meets it, so it was bleeding and everything like that. And I put a Band-Aid around it, and then I went off and I played a gig, like in Des Moines or someplace. I drove off to Des Moines with and I played this big long gig. In those days, my gig was I used a steel string guitar with the medium gauge strings. I do light gauge strings nowadays, but these are mediums, and and I didn't have it wasn't acoustic electric. It had the two microphones, so you had to play really loud, Yeah. And it was in Des Moines, and you know how they drink in Des Moines. It's just not as bad as here, but I mean it's pretty loud in those bars and stuff. So I was playing Laurie's Lounge, and it wasn't really Des Moines. It was Windsor Heights, about 2 blocks from the Des Moines city limits or something, but.
I was watching TV this morning, and I don't know whose list it was, but I see the University of Iowa has topped somebody's party school list again.
Yeah, I think it's Princeton or somebody's. Yeah, number 1. We're number 1. Yeah. Well, one of the criteria is hard liquor and game attendance. So that's why I put in that crack about how they drink in Des Moines. Not like here, but pretty bad. Not this bad.
But apparently not at all in heaven.
Yeah. Well, we don't know if they drink. These don't drink beer.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You think we started like a minute late or more because of the other show was running late, and then we've been just goofing off a lot, because I'm not getting the sound I want. It was going to be perfect, because this sounds. I had the same setup when I played the gig. I took this guitar a couple weeks ago to the gig, and I had the same amp and the same setup.
But if we achieve perfection, we're unemployed.
That's right. Well, but I mean, it's one of those shows where we want it to be over with, because I have to go and fool around with my stuff and make myself sound good again. And
flies think they want to keep me company now.
Oh, yeah, you're a sweet guy there, Bob. You draw flies. So.
Probably ought to open the door to the control room and see if they can't keep the management happy.
Yeah. Well, those guys are, I'm sure they have animal magnetism. So, This thing's real stiff, this guitar here. So if I plug this into here one more time. No hearing noise at all. Yeah, well, I don't know. I got to go home and tinker with all my stuff again. That's the way it goes, you know. You just when you think you got it. This is called church. Here we have a spring. Let's see if I turn it up all the way, FX level, and turn the decay a little bit, go like this. Hey. Yeah. Hey. So I'm having fun now. I don't have much time for fun now. Got a minute and a half. Here, this is tile. Sounds like you're playing in the tiled room. I don't know what mod stands for. I went to a church in southern France once that had never really been restored. It's just been kept up over the last more than 1,000 years. Oh, the show's over. Hang on a second. Well, bye, everybody. I'll see you next week.